This bill and our wider welfare reforms seek to fix the broken benefit system that we inherited from the party opposite and to deliver a better life for millions of people across our country. Our plans are rooted in principles and values I know many in this House share. Compassion for those who need our help most, a belief in equality and social justice, that everyone should have the chance to fulfil their potential no matter where they're born or what their parents did, and responsibility for our constituents and our country as a whole, so we ensure the welfare state is sustainable and lasts for generations to come. But the system we inherited is failing on all these counts. Members opposite left us with a system that incentivises people to define themselves as incapable of work just to be able to afford to live. They then wrote people off without any help or support and then blamed them to grab a cheap headline. The result is 2.8 million people out of work due to long-term sickness. And 1 in 8 of all our young people not in education, employment or training, with all the terrible long-term consequences this brings for their future job prospects, earnings and health. And the number of people on disability benefits set to more than double this decade, with awards for personal independence payments increasing at twice the rate of increases in the prevalence of disabled people in our society, adding 1,000 new PIP awards a day. That's the equivalent of adding a city the size of Leicester every single year. And I do not believe, let me make some progress, I do not believe that this is sustainable if we want a welfare state that protects people who most need our help for generations to come. Mr. Speaker, there is nothing compassionate about leaving millions of people who could work without the help they need to build a better life. There's no route to equality or social justice when 9 million of our fellow citizens are out of work and not looking at work for work, and when our country has one of the widest disability employment gaps in Europe. And there is no responsibility in leaving our system of social security to continue as it is and risk support for it becoming so frayed that it is no longer there to provide a safety net for those who can never work and who most need our help and support.
Has the government taken legal advice as to whether it is lawful to treat people with the same conditions, disabilities and circumstances differently within the benefit system? It is morally unacceptable, but does the Minister believe it is lawful?
I would gently just remind the Honourable Lady that her own party had different rules and different rates for people on existing compared to new benefits in future. That's something they did. Once again, members opposite seem to be railing at the very problems that they caused. Now, I understand why many members would like to see the results from the Timms review implemented before the 4-point change takes effect. But reviewing the assessment as a whole, let me just say it is a major undertaking that will take time to get right, especially if we co-produce it properly. It will be for those involved in the review to determine the precise table, but we are absolutely committed to moving quickly and completing the review by next autumn. And I want to assure the House any changes following the Timms review will be implemented as soon as is practically possible via primary or secondary legislation. And once we have implemented changes from the review, any existing PIP claimant can ask for a reassessment. Mr. Speaker, welfare reform, let's be honest, is never easy, perhaps especially for Labour governments. Our social security system directly touches the lives of millions of people, and it is something we all care deeply about. We have listened to the concerns that have been raised to help us get these changes right. The bill protects people already claiming PIP. It protects, in real terms, the incomes of people already receiving the UC Health top-up from that benefit and their standard allowance. And it protects those with severe, lifelong conditions who will never work and those near the end of their life, as we promised we would. But I have to tell the House, unlike the previous administration, this government must not and will not duck the big challenges facing this country. Because the people we are in politics to serve deserve so much better than this. We are taking action to put the social security system on a sustainable footing so it is there for generations to come. We're helping millions of low-income households across the country by increasing the standard rate of universal credit, and because we know there is no route to social justice based on increased benefit spending alone, we are providing record investment in employment support for sick and disabled people so they have the same rights and chances to work as anybody else. Our plans will create a fairer society, one where people who can work get the help they need, where we protect those who cannot. A society where the welfare safety net actually survives and is always there for those who need it. Above all, this government is determined to give people hope that tomorrow will be better than today.
Mr. Speaker, we are staring down the barrel of a crisis that no serious government can ignore. The welfare system no longer works as it should. What was once a safety net has become a trap. A system designed to protect the most vulnerable is now encouraging dependency and dragging this country into deeper debt. Mr. Speaker, the welfare system is a crucial safety net for the poorest and the most vulnerable in our society. So I was quite surprised, Mr. Speaker, at the tone that the Secretary of State decided to take today. She thinks that she can stand there and get away with the fiction that all of this was caused by the last government. So let me refresh their memories, especially for those who were not here at the time. In 2010, we inherited 8% unemployment, and we brought it right down. The last Conservative government reformed welfare to introduce universal credit, and our reforms helped ensure that employment more than halved and was at a near record low. What have we seen since they came in? Unemployment has risen every single month that Labour came into office. Mr. Speaker, during our time, indeed 800 jobs were created for every day that we were in office. And at the same time, until the COVID pandemic, we kept spending under control, cutting the deficit every year. But COVID changed everything. It did. Now we face a new... Mr. Speaker, it is delightful to hear them laughing. I remember us sitting on that side of the House, and they were demanding that we spend more and more and more money. Thank God it was Conservatives who were there under COVID. Labour would have bankrupted the country. We face, Mr. Speaker, we face a new reality. Under this government, every single working day, 3,000 people move on to incapacity benefits. 3,000 every single day. That is a 50% increase from when we left office. A 50% increase. They have only been in power 1 year, Mr. Speaker. Imagine what it's going to be like after the next 4 years.
These Dickensian cuts belong to a different era and a different party. They are far from what this Labour Party is for, a party to protect the poor, as is my purpose. For I am my brother's keeper. These are my constituents, my neighbours, my community, my responsibility, and I cannot cross by on the other side. For one, let alone for the 150,000 who will be pushed further into poverty. And as so many of us fear, and as the evidence shows, since 600 people took their lives under the Tories' brutal reforms, the tragedy of this ideology could be worse. So I will fight for the purpose of politics, for their livelihoods and their lives. It is a matter of conscience, deep conscience for me, to ensure that these precious people are treated for once with dignity, so they matter for being and not just doing. 16 million, they beg, in the chaos and confusion, where the sequence of consultations makes no sense to them or no sense to me, and I think, if we're honest, no sense to any of us in this bill, to just stop and start again with listening to their voices. So at this 11th hour, I plead withdrawal. We will be met with relief and praise. Let's consult, co-produce, incorporate the Mayfield Review findings and accommodate those of the Timms Review first.
As it stands, we are being asked to vote blind today. There is no new bill. There are no new explanatory notes. There is no fully updated impact assessment. There is no time for sufficient scrutiny. No formal consultation has taken place with disabled people. The majority of employment support will not be in place until the end of the decade. Access to work remains worse than ever before, and we are creating a two-tier, possibly three-tier benefit system where we know for certain that disabled people are going to be worse off. This is not a responsible way for any of us to legislate. It is predicted that disabled people will lose on average £4,500 per year. Yet we know that they already need an extra £1,095 per month just to have the same standard of living as non-disabled households. There's a reason why 138 organisations representing disabled people are against this bill. There is a reason why there is not a single organisation that has come out in support of it. Madam Deputy Speaker, I am pleading with MPs today, please do not do this. For those on my own benches, staying loyal to your party today may feel good in this place, but once you go home, once you're in your individual constituency, the reality of this will hit, and it will hit very hard. Just like in 2015, I'm concluding my comments, sorry. Just like in 2015, constituents will never forgive, and it will haunt those MPs who voted for it. I, of all people, should know.
Well said.